Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 was Masters of the Universe, making $8.9 million this weekend. Its domestic total is now at $46 million, and its worldwide total is now at $86 million. Oh, Masters of the Universe, oh dear. I kind of just don't want to dwell on this too much because this is going from bad to worse. It honestly feels like I'm just beating on it while it's down, but man oh man is this movie just struggling. This is more than just word of mouth. This is just lack of interest in general. A 69% drop off in its second weekend. My goodness, that's not what you want to see. And hey, at least it's gonna get to the $100 million milestone worldwide. That's something. But yeah, again, just when I'm saying that, like, that's the best possible outcome for this movie's performance, you know, the movie is doing really bad. Again, just the factors I mentioned last week: way too late, way too expensive, and again, just no one seems to be all that interested or excited to see this movie. The word of mouth from people who saw it just didn't bring any newcomers to see the movie. Not that there were any real newcomers who were interested in seeing it last week either, but yeah, just all around not a great weekend. This movie is gonna continue falling against all the other heavy hitters this summer. Again, the summer is heating up, lots of big movies on the horizon, and I just doubt that this movie meets the expectations they were hoping it would. This is just gonna end up being the biggest flop of the summer, which is not what they were hoping for with this movie. Number 4 was Backrooms, making $11 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $160 million and a worldwide total of $262 million. So it held better than it did last weekend, but I thought it would be able to bounce back a bit stronger this weekend. I thought it would maybe show signs of stability, and, you know, being the other big horror movie right now, maybe that would have benefited, but it still faced a rather steep decline, 56%. I think it's just really getting overshadowed by the other big horror movie out right now. Plus, again, the reception wasn't the best from audiences. So again, I just think this is just going to be one that's going to fall short of the heights it set for itself with its opening. The legs just don't seem to be as strong as the opening indicated, but that's not to say that the movie is flopping or anything. It's not anywhere near something like Masters or Mandalorian and Grogu. The movie, again, $10 million budget. It's on its way to $300 million worldwide, A24's biggest movie ever. I don't see this movie like making anyone really upset over how it's doing. Maybe a bit just underwhelmed because it fell short of the high expectations it set for itself with its opening again, but still largely a huge hit altogether. I still see this movie stabilizing in the late stages, if you know what I mean, and again, gonna reach some heights that many people didn't expect to see with this movie early on. So yeah, still doing really well for itself, but gonna again fall short of those really high highs we all thought it would. Number 3 was Scary Movie 6, making $14 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $84 million and a worldwide total of $172 million. Goodness, Scary Movie. My gosh, we talked a lot about how the reception for this movie was, to put it lightly, not good, and we were assuming that it would fall steep, but not to this degree. A 74% drop off in its second weekend. This thing just plummeted this weekend. My goodness, we haven't seen a movie top the box office and then fall this hard since, ironically, Scream 7. This is just a devastating drop off for this movie, and it's not like it's the end of the world for this movie. I know the movie cost $30 million. It's more than quadrupled its budget, but still, I think there was a lot more writing for this movie than, say, something like Backrooms, you know, because, you know, that movie was much cheaper, and hey, you know, it's still like breaking box office records and milestones. But this one especially, you know, it was supposed to revive the raunchy summer comedy. It was supposed to revive the Scary Movie franchise, and it's Paramount's biggest movie of the summer. This was the one that they were really banking on sticking around throughout the summer, as the only other big movie they got this summer was Paw Patrol, and so this movie fading this quickly is not a good sign. I doubt this movie sticks around. Again, I think it's going to get beaten out by the rest of the summer competition. This is just a devastating blow to this movie. Again, it's still going to be successful. I mean, it's going to crack 200 million worldwide, but it's definitely not going to be the revival they were hoping for. So yeah, not a good weekend for Scary Movie 6. Number 2 was Obsession, making $19 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $188 million and a worldwide total of $286 million. I had a feeling this movie would jump up to number 2. I just had that intuition, that foresight, whatever you want to call it, that this movie would bounce back over all the other holdovers, and it did just that. It did fall steeper than I thought it would, but it still wasn't a steep drop. It only fell 25%. Keep in mind, we are in its 5th weekend of release. It having its steepest drop-off be 25% is astonishing to see. This movie still has a grip on audiences. It's still the must-see movie of the summer right now, and it's about to surpass even more milestones. It's about to surpass 200 million domestically and 300 million worldwide. It should surpass those milestones probably next week, and shortly after that, it's probably going to surpass the entire domestic run of Devil Wears Prada 2, which imagine telling yourself that a couple months ago that this would happen with this movie. Again, just astronomical performance for this movie. Again, this does not happen, especially for a horror movie like this. I mean, I'm still seeing people talk about it, post about it. The discussion on this movie just keeps growing, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping. However, I am curious to see when this hype train is going to slow down. As I've mentioned many times in this video, the summer is heating up, a lot of big movies. It's going to be interesting to see how much further this movie can go. Again, I still think the sky's the limit for this movie, but it is going to be interesting to see how it handles against the much bigger crop of summer movies as we head throughout June and make our way into July. But if this weekend is any indication, I think it's still got some juice left in the tank. I think it's going to do just fine, especially considering, again, this is not only the only horror movie out right now, but it is the must-see horror movie out right now. So yes, another fantastic weekend for Obsession. What else is there to say? This movie keeps defying every single expectation, and I think it's going to continue doing just that. And finally, let's end the video off with the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was Disclosure Day, opening with $44 million this weekend domestically and $93 million worldwide. This is the 5th biggest opening of the summer. It knocks Mortal Kombat 2 out of the top 5, but still sits behind Scary Movie 6, The Devil Wears Prada 2, Backrooms, and Mandalorian and Grogu. And it's the 10th biggest opening of the year overall, once again knocking Mortal Kombat 2 out of the top 10, but still sitting behind Hoppers, Scary Movie 6, Scream 7, Devil Wears Prada 2, Project Hail Mary, Backrooms, Mandalorian and Grogu, Michael, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So this had a pretty solid opening. It kind of exceeded my expectations because I thought the marketing was starting to sizzle the closer we got to the film's release, plus the fact that I didn't see too much buzz on the movie. Just coming from me, I didn't see too much chatter around this, but I guess I was just living on my own little bubble or my own little island, because yeah, a lot of people were much more interested in this movie than I thought. Clearly the marketing captured a lot of people's attention, plus Steven Spielberg's name's attached to it, his first big blockbuster in a while, and the premise and the mystery and reveal of what is really going on certainly captured a lot of people's attention and made them curious enough to go check the movie out. It also helped that critic reviews were really solid. It's sitting like in the low 80s right now, not too shabby, especially for a movie like this. So I think that also boosted up the numbers, and what really helped this movie out is that for a summer blockbuster, they didn't go overboard with the budget. It was only a $115 million budget, and it's made a majority of that back. It'll make all of that back in a matter of days, certainly. So yeah, as far as its opening goes, this is a pretty solid start. However, like many other summer movies this year, I have a feeling that this movie may stumble a bit within the next couple weeks, because unfortunately, audiences don't seem to be too thrilled with this movie. There's a big divide with critics and audiences. This got a B on CinemaScore. Compared to other summer movies, it's on par with Masters of the Universe and Mortal Kombat 2, and that's not good company to be a part with. And while I don't think it's going to collapse like those movies, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw something like Backrooms, where it just stumbles in its second weekend, given that mixed to negative word of mouth. I've been seeing a lot of people not satisfied with this movie. I don't think it's gonna plummet this weekend given the double whammy of Juneteenth and Father's Day. I think those holidays will benefit this movie this weekend, but I'm also not expecting a great hold either. Again, it doesn't seem like a lot of people like this movie, but as far as its opening goes, yeah, it's a really solid way to start things off. It got a lot of people to the theater. It's just that the road ahead doesn't look too bright for it, unfortunately. And those were your top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, but we're not quite done yet as we got another week ahead of us and new movies hitting theaters. And this weekend's big new movie is Toy Story 5, the 5th installment of the beloved Pixar franchise. This time the toys face their biggest threat yet, technology, as their new owner Bonnie gets a new play tablet and it steals valuable playtime from the toys. So the question remains, will they be able to coexist with this new technology, or will they have to fight for their playtime? Now, I really think this is going to be where the summer really starts kicking into high gear. I think we're not just going to only see the biggest opening of the summer, but the biggest opening of the year so far. Definitely going to rival Super Mario Galaxy's opening. First off, again, like I said a while ago, Juneteenth and Father's Day are this weekend. This movie is a perfect way to celebrate the holiday. I definitely think Father's Day, especially, a lot of dads going to see this movie with their kids. It's also the first animated movie since Super Mario Galaxy to hit theaters, so that's going to help it out. And also, you know, the Toy Story name, a lot of people hold this franchise near and dear to their hearts, and this movie especially looks pretty promising. The marketing has been excellent. They've been doing a great job selling the movie. I like how they're not selling this as the final Toy Story movie. No, it's just another adventure with these characters, and the actual premise of the film is honestly really solid, and I've seen a lot of chatter about how this movie is going to end, and I think if they really do nail this, it is going to spark kind of a discussion, a conversation about the topics this movie might discuss in itself. So yeah, not much else to really say here. I think this is really going to deliver. It wouldn't surprise me if this shot past expectations and even broke a couple records, expecting some really solid numbers for Toy Story 5. But we'll see how well this movie truly does, as well as the rest of the movies that land in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.